Oh, I got a nice cold gig here.
I don't know how cold, but you
I
gotta
know it's cold. Just stay sitting there, the mic's here. Okay, first thing, I'm excited. That was a great win for us. Really proud of our team, proud of the way we played at the end of the game. And one of our things that we preach in our plan to win is that we want to win the close games and win the fourth quarter. And that was something we did today. Now, it wasn't pretty. You know, I mean, it was a struggle. We didn't make it easy. We didn't make it simple. But we kept fighting. We kept going. We kept finding a way to make plays. And I got to give a lot of credit to our defense. They made the plays at the critical times at the end of the game. And, you know, the first of all, stopping them before the score that we took it down and scored. And then getting the sack fumble there at the end. Our defense created some havoc and some pressure. And that was a difference there at the end. Isaac Harker played outstanding. Bob Pugh played outstanding. I think our offensive line blocked very well today. The exciting thing for me and for us is that we won, but we can be so much better. You know, that's the exciting thing about it. We beat the number 9 team in the country. I think they were number 6 a week ago before they lost to Eastern Illinois. We beat the number 9 team in the country, and really, if we play like we can play and don't make some of the mistakes we made there, we should have been able to put them away. But the bottom line is we won, and I'm excited. I'm proud of our guys. I'm proud of the way they believed. They stuck together. They didn't start blaming each other. We didn't divide at the end. We fought through it, and we persevered. And I think that was huge. You know, we've had 2 very difficult games against them the last 2 years. Close games where we lost in the end. And I was proud of the way we finished today.
Questions?
Mike, on the play that Colby fumbled on, you were able to bring pressure off the left side, and that seemed to be the one thing they were having a little bit of trouble with in the second half. You know, I don't know if you expect that call to result in a turnover, but just, you know, that call, though, was successful earlier when Lonell Brown got a sack out of it. Obviously, even more so on that play. It looked like it was just going to take something like that to put a stake in this game.
Yeah, I think it was real good timing by Coach Cabral and our defensive staff to call the right blitz at the right time. And I think there were some frustrating times in those tries where they were completing some passes out on the outside. But I think we found a way to make plays when we needed to.
How much of a wrinkle did it add to the fact that Colby didn't start the game, so they changed their attack? Obviously, it had to be more of a running attack at that point, put the Wildcat quarterback in for a while. Then Colby comes back, and all of a sudden you're thrown back out of whack again. I mean, how much of a dynamic did that add to this game?
It was a challenge. You know, I think our defense, there were a lot of unexpected things, and they kind of ran 3 different offenses, you know, philosophically. You know, with the first guy, then with number 15, who's a really good player, by the way, and then when they brought Colby back in, it was like they were running 3 different offenses.
They were able to get 269 yards of total offense themselves in the second half, which isn't a good number, but you know, just talk about just the feeling it had to be on the sideline, you know, with the momentum swinging both ways, mainly their way in the second half. But how did the guys keep it together? How did they keep it from really getting out of control?
Here's what I would say. I got to give a lot of credit to our coaching staff. I got to give a lot of credit to our seniors and our leaders. We stayed together in the midst of a lot of adversity, and where you could drift apart and start blaming each other and start getting frustrated, and they just kept coming back, kept fighting back, and there was just a belief that we were going to finally find a way to win. And we did, and that's, if I was to give a title to this game, it was find a way to win, and we found a way to win.
Roland Genesee had some key carries in the second half in particular. That 41-yard run he broke essentially put them in a position where they almost had to let you score. But he broke several others. He had, you know, the key run after he got the ball back after the fumble. Some tough running from him today, and it was at a lot of key moments.
That was outstanding running by Roland. It was good to get him back. It's kind of, he's been beat up. He had a bruised ribs from one game, and then a hip pointer in another game, and he just hasn't been himself. And this was kind of his first time being healthy, and he showed what kind of a back he is when he's healthy. He played really well.
Any reminders on the sideline amongst the players themselves or the coaches or both? This was looking like it might play out like last year's game against Illinois State. Do you think that entered the players' minds going?
Well, one of our things going into the game was to not allow that to happen. We wanted to find a way to win. We wanted to finish the game. Like with the last 2 years we haven't finished, and today we finished, which wasn't pretty, but we finished. Which is the bottom line is we won.
Any injuries? The only guy I saw go down was Preston Collier.
Yeah, and I think he came back and played.
Yeah.
I don't know how bad he was. Jordan Jackson came out. I don't know exactly the extent of that. Other than that, I got to give credit to our strength and conditioning coach Dave McManus and our players, because they worked really hard this summer. They worked really hard this training camp fall. And I thought we were in very good physical condition today, and we were able to persevere through the game not only from a mental standpoint, but from a physical standpoint with the heat the way it was. I was very proud of the way we fought through it.
1-0 in the league, and obviously some positive momentum moving forward. That's huge, and just talk about the importance of that, and not only that, putting a pretty quality opponent, hanging an L on them as well.
Yeah, it's huge. In some ways, the fact that we're going straight through and without a bye and opening the league with Illinois State is tough. But I think our guys were up to it, and I think our guys took it on as a challenge, and we rose above it and found a way to beat them. A very good football team, and I give them a lot of credit. They're very good, and they kept fighting back too. It's good to be 1-0 in the league, and we have a very important game next week, homecoming against a much improved Missouri State team, and we've got to play our best. Other questions? Anything? Okay.